Joining us now on ET Now is Nikhil Kamath, the co-founder of Zerodha. Hi Nikhil, good evening. This is Ruchi Bhatia. The lockdown has certainly translated into higher investor activity within the retail space. You yourself have seen almost a threefold jump into the monthly new accounts as well. Decode this trend for us, and also at a time like this when the market volatility is also so high, how do you think the retail investors are, looking at this entire opportunity that awaits them?
Hi, Ruchi. So, a good thing the regulators did ahead of the volatility is reduced a lot of the margin requirements in terms of the amount of leverage that we would give out to a client. So they mandated that a broker who was giving X amount of leverage can only give, say, 50% of X. And I think that went a long way in reducing a lot of the leverage in the market and made the markets a little bit more stable. In terms of new users who are coming in, we are seeing a lot of a younger client base who is signing up to the stock markets right now. I think what is happening in the ecosystem is interest rates are on their way down very quickly. Real estate kind of has plateaued over the last many years and is a very hard place to generate the kind of yield you could at one point. And I feel the natural progression for money has been the stock markets. And a lot of people at home now have a lot more time at hand. And I think this is helping them actually open the account, which they might have kept on hold because they were busy at work and they had other things going on. So we're seeing a significant surge in the number of new people opening trading and demat accounts. Albeit with smaller ticket sizes. But I think it's a good thing. People are entering the market with a long-term perspective. And we see a lot of the retail who has entered in the last few months actually making profits right now. So I think it's a good thing all around.
Hi, Nikhil. Good evening. Nantara Rai here, working from home. It's been a fantastic time. Given you had that bull rally, seemed like the markets were on steroids. A lot of stocks, almost everything looked like it was only headed in one direction, which was north. But Nikhil, I wanted to talk to you about a trend that was first seen on Wall Street, and then we've seen it pick up. Maybe tell us if it has in India. Incidentally, we're also talking at a time when your valuation is that of a unicorn, $1 billion. But Nikhil, the Robinhood market, as it's being called on Wall Street, is that the case at the Lal Street as well? Is this a Robinhood market that is at play?
I don't think so. I mean, with Robinhood, you hear a lot of news where they're talking about investors entering penny stocks, buying into companies which are declaring some form of bankruptcy. But in India, we see investors entering into good quality large caps, especially the new entrants into the market. So maybe we have a wiser investor, but I don't think that trend is playing out here right now.
Nikhil, I just want to understand from you, this is Ruchi here once again, in terms of new account opening, which are the segments where you're seeing a lot of interest coming in from? And what will, more importantly, be your advice to people who are opening accounts right now, retail investors who are looking to make the most of this opportunity that awaits them?
I think the main thing for a new investor entering the market is to have reasonable expectation. As long as you approach the stock market with a point of view where you want to earn maybe 12 to 16, 17% return a year, I think you inherently don't end up taking the risk that you might have if you were trying to, achieve a 30, 40, 50% return. So the biggest pieces of advice to a retail investor would be A, do not use leverage. If you have 100 rupees in your account, buy 100 rupees worth of stock. B would be to shy away from small cap companies, penny stocks, companies which are generally operated in the news when you get a lot of SMS messages and stuff like that. Stay away from all of that and buy good quality, large cap blue chip companies. I think that's always the best way to go.
Nikhil, it's Nayantara again. You know, the stock markets perhaps haven't seen this kind of an activity since what, 12, 13 years, 2007. So having said that, I think one of the biggest gains and what has worked as a fantastic tailwind for the stock markets maybe has been the fixed deposit rates, right? Because if you're going to have fixed deposit rates at the levels there are, people want to look, they want to find new deals, they want to find new asset classes. So having said that, and the entry of the new retail investor will certainly bring about a huge opportunity, whether it's for Zerodha or whether it is for your competitors or those that are, you know, new startups that are entering this space, to just give information, because that is what is really at key and play here, right? Trust and information. What does it mean for Zerodha?
Well, strangely, Nayantara, I have to say this, like this particular time, when the markets corrected to 8,000 and then recovered to 10,000 again, we saw a lot of small investors come in with a pool of capital of, say, between 20,000 to 50,000 rupees. They actually ended up buying the fall at about 8,000, and they're actually exiting and booking profit now, a vast majority of them. This will go a long way in kind of, removing the negative narrative that stock markets have had attached to them in certain circles. I think these people who are investing for the first time and making a great return at the very beginning is a good benchmark for them to kind of base their future investing on. And like I said earlier, these guys are all coming in buying quality stocks without using leverage. And if that is the trend which is going to continue, albeit based on interest rate cycles going down or the real estate not giving the kind of yield it used to, I think is a good thing for the overall economy. And I think a lot more smart, long-term, intelligent capital will come into the capital markets in this world.
That's the latest trend that we're seeing, the stock market seeing the kind of activity we've not seen in almost 13 years. And that's Nikhil Kamath of Zerodha breaking it all down for you, ladies and gentlemen, and his advice as well. Thanks a lot for joining us on this edition of India Tonight, Nikhil.